This is Grace Bryan of Nitrogen here with Advisorpedia at the 2023 Fearless Investing Summit. With us today, we have Tony Stich, the Chief Revenue Officer of Entrustody. Welcome, Tony.
Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here.
We are so glad to have you. There have been some changes in the custodial space lately. What should the Custodian of 2024 look like?
Great question. And the changes are exciting, right? I think it's well past due that the custodians start functioning like a provider to these advisors, right? And what we're seeing is a shift in expectations, right? So for the longest time, the incumbents served themselves in terms of their business lines and then also the advisors. And so these new entrants, including Entrustody, they have an ethos, right? A mission of providing high levels of service to the advisor. So that's the tectonic shift. But that also manifests itself in, let's just say, three ways, right? So better technology, delightful technology, better customer service, more transparent fees. Those three kind of core pillars are the revolution that's driving this industry forward on the custody side. And we are happy, excited to be leading that charge.
What are advisors telling you their concerns with custodians are, and how does Entrustody solve for that?
There's a lot of concerns. Some are unspoken. Some you can kind of read between the lines. But I think the biggest one is the competing factor, right? You have the traditional incumbent custodians, and what happens is they compete for your business ultimately, right? Because they provide retail services as well. They also offer investment vehicles as well. And those are ultimately competing against the advisor's business, right? So that's the big concern is like, I'm going to custody and provide you a revenue stream, but then you're going to try and take my clients, right? So that's a big one. That's a big concern. But the other one is, and this is essentially obvious at this point, but the modern investor wants better technology, wants a frictionless experience, wants delightful customer service, and the incumbents don't offer that, right? It's just they're behind, right? They're trying to modernize. So as we develop the platform, as we build out the technology, it's going to be all frictionless, right? From digital account opening, trading rebalancing, and then a delightful client portal, right? That's what they expect nowadays. So those are the big concerns around the custody space, really a competing factor, but also making sure we're providing a delightful experience for the end investor.
And as a new entrant to the market, how should firms think of Entrustody?
Well, so here's the reality. Before Entrustody, I was an executive at software companies for a long time. And we've always challenged advisors and prospective advisors to do one thing, ask questions, right? Before you engage a relationship, you should ask them what your service levels look like, what kind of technology is it? Like you need to make sure you're properly asking the questions to make sure you're engaging with the right custodian, right? So as it relates to Entrustody, what we do is not only we understand the needs of the advisor, in fact, the platform we're building is designed by advisors. Like we have a beta group, we have a design partner group. These two cohorts are helping us build a product, providing the roadmap, the feedback, reviewing the technology. And as a result, we're building something that the modern advisor wants and ultimately the end investor as well.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Tony.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.